Once a year, the Association of Surfing Professionals World Tour makes a stop in Southern California's Surf City, or what we call Huntington Beach, California. It's that time of the year again, as the OP Pro Surfing Championship is ready to rip. In the course of the next hour, you'll see some of the best in the business, the best surfers in the world going man-on-man, head-to-head, clashing for over $90,000 in total prize money. We should alert you to a developing story. Already, Tom Curren, a two-time world champion, three-time OP champion, has been knocked off, as has Martin Potter, the defending world champion. And they've been knocked off by a guy that we can only call the Giant Killer, Todd Holland out of Florida. So if I were you, I would not move a muscle. Sit back, get comfortable, and get ready for some of the best surfing in the world. And it's only here on Welcome back, everybody, to the OP Surfing Championships in Huntington Beach, California. I'm Mike Chamberlain, and this is Peter Townend. And all year long, Peter and I kind of gear up for what we think is the big one. We know the tour goes all around the world, but I think collectively, Peter, we think this is the stop here in Huntington Beach.
Well, you know, this is the Wimbledon of the sport, the US Open, the Masters, whatever you want to call it, and everybody keys their performance to this. It can really mean a big difference to a guy's career. I mean, if he wins this event, he's a superstar, and it can mean a lot of things beside, of course, being OP Pro Champion and the star of a TV special. It can mean big endorsement opportunities. I mean, a guy's stock goes up after this one, I can tell you.
I've heard it said that this is where legends are made here in Huntington Beach, California.
Well, we've had great surf, too. I mean, all week we've had some hurricanes down off Mexico pumping in swells, and today the surf's just pumping out here, 6 to 8 feet, and we're going to see just unbelievable action.
Well, let's talk about the judging that's used here, Peter. The association, the ASP, the Association of Surfing Professionals, has some very strict guidelines by which they judge these surfers.
Well, of course, we have a computer scoring system, 5 judges, and they score the waves on a best of 10 scores. So the best score you can get, because they eliminate the high and low judges, 30-point score.
Quarterfinal number 1 kicked off the day with young Flavio Padaratz from Florianópolis, Brazil, facing the power surfing of Sonny Garcia of Hawaii. You remember that Sonny is a former finalist here at the OP.
Well, it's his backside that is his strength, and here he takes the drop off the bottom, and he just rips it off the top right there as he heads toward those pylons. And here I'll take another look at it. You can see he just comes around, accelerates, and he just hits that lip, nails it right on the money. Perfect timing from Sonny Garcia.
But Padaratz worked his way through the trials, beating Australia's Robbie Page, pulling off a huge upset on Hawaii's Derek Ho. And in this quarterfinal, he seemed to be getting, if not the best, at least the longest waves.
Well, familiarity with the conditions was an advantage to Padaratz. He spent a year here going to school at Edison High School.
And Garcia seemed to be right on top of the heat, but began to take some spills at critical times. Costly mistakes here.
Well, you can't afford to make mistakes, particularly against a guy like Padaratz, because he really grovels well, and he does these unbelievable slashing moves like that one. I mean, he just nailed that right there about as hard as you could hit it, and you can see he's real stoked with that performance.
Happy face. Going on to another huge upset is the young Brazilian Flavio Padaratz, beating Sonny Garcia 82.5 to 80.6. Quarterfinal number 2. It brought forward OP teammates Todd Holland and Tom Curren to battle each other here in the Pacific Ocean. Holland was on fire in this year's OP Pro, beating Australia's Richard Marsh and pulling off a stunning defeat of world champion Martin Potter in an earlier round.
Well, Holland was having one of those days, as you can see as we look at this replay here. Beautiful fluid moves and just timing his moves right off the lip all the time, hitting it right on the money. Really good moves from the youngster there from Florida.
Nice angle here on Tom Curren. He was riding a larger board than usual, but it didn't stop him from big backside maneuvers and even shooting the pier here in Huntington.
Well, he went to the bigger board hoping to pick up the big outside waves, and he picked off a beauty there, worked it all the way to the inside, got through the pier, shot the pier, which is really difficult, and got a couple of moves on the other side.
Tommy would no sooner pull out of a wave, he'd turn around and watch Todd Holland pulling off unbelievable maneuvers.
Well, it was moves like that that had the pressure on the two-time world champion, Tom Curren. Tom was having his moments, but I think the move to the bigger board was restricting him. You see him goes up here, he tries to get it vertical, he does, but he had to let the board fall down. Normally he'd rip it down, and he just didn't rip that one down right there. And on the inside, he just didn't have that Tom Curren snap he usually has.
Well, Peter, one of the more memorable moments of the 1990 OP right here. Todd Holland, a floater wipeout.
From Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Well, the crowd goes nuts for that move of Todd Holland, and you can tell when an athlete's having a great day. He's putting everything into this. He just can't pull the nose out, and boy, what a wipeout. He probably nearly popped his eardrum on that, Mike Chamberlain.
Holland got the best of the Todd and Tom show. He will advance on to the OP semifinals. What's it like to be the two-time world champion?
It makes you try harder, and then also at the same time it's intimidating, because I know when we first got out there, he got four waves right off the bat that were next to the pier, and so being Tom, I didn't know what type of maneuver he could pull off, so I didn't know really how high of scores he was getting.
I think, well, the main reason I lost was because Todd was surfing real good, but also I think mainly might have had to do a little bit with the board I was riding. I was riding a 6'9", and so it was maybe a little bit long for those waves, and it's just a matter of I really need to get the better waves of the heat to win, and I was just kind of even with Todd, I guess, pretty much through the heat, and he had the higher scoring waves. Mainly it's just that he was surfing real good.
When it comes to excitement, the big floater, you took off on that big right, flew up onto the lip, and just literally just pile drive down. Were you really seriously trying to pull that off, or was that just sort of a little bit of showmanship?
I was trying to make it. No, the wave ended up, I thought it was going to be a clean wave, and it closed out, and so didn't have enough time to do a bottom turn. That was the first thing you could do, so, you take off on a wave. I was just trying to make the most out of it.
That had to hurt. You had a vertical drop of about 12 feet, and then you just piled into that flat water.
Yeah, it did quite hurt, because I landed straight into my chest, and it hurt real bad. Once I got back out, I just stopped for a minute and shook it off and tried to go on.